It's foreign.
It's foreign.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Oh,
Sweet. Can't wait to miss it.
okay.
Indonesian action thriller.
Yeah, no,
Indonesian?
it's Indonesian.
Oh, it's written by Gareth Evans.
Selamat
Yeah.
pagi. I'm halfway there.
Selamat sore.
I'm turning the subtitles off.
Selamat-
Bagus.
Selamat pagi. Oh, man.
Welcome to Born to Watch, where three old mates, an ex-video shop owner, an industry insider, and a black belt in 80s kung fu movies put their mastery to the test on movies that changed the world.
Hey there, fellow watchers. It's that time of the week again. It's Born to Watch. And of course, we are live from the Panic Room. My name's Whitey, and I'm the host of this amazing podcast. Let's meet the team. And for tonight, we are back as a whole with just a little bit extra. Dan, still reeling from the extra duties he had to perform when the land is ready to fire. How are you, mate?
Yeah, that was fucked.
Excellent. And we have a special guest. Damo joins the team again. Welcome back.
Back again. Yes, thank you. I think some of the special may have faded.
I don't think so.
3. Well, being 3, does this mean I can get my own locker now in the Born to Watch change rooms?
Well, we'll put it to a vote.
Well, also too, I'd like to request, like when we hit the showers after the podcast, that I get my own soap. I'm sick of asking you for it. You're really clumsy. It's always on the floor.
Yeah, it's usually between my legs.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Anyway, and look,
Riddled with pubes.
yeah, it's fresh from the butt crack. And look, back from a mini hiatus, it's great to have my loyal number 2 sitting opposite me. You were sorely missed, mate, and obviously our love went out to you when you weren't here. And mate, it's great to have you back. Thank God.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for that. And yeah, excited to be back in here again. We got a full studio, so we're going to have a cracking episode tonight.
I think so. It's the kind of movie that just reeks of a good episode, I reckon. Look, the scary theme continues here at Born to Watch as we move towards Halloween. This is a dark, twisted, and absolutely visually stunning serial killer thriller, Se7en, from the incredible director, David Fincher. Starring 3 and actually really 4 actors that would become Hollywood royalty. And it's in the early days of all their careers. You know, Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Gwyneth Paltrow, and also uncredited Kevin Spacey. This is really, I think, the movie that catapulted all of them. Obviously, Kevin Spacey won the Academy Award for Usual Suspects, but this is the movie that really sent them into the stratosphere. And as for David Fincher, this was only his second feature film. He'd had Alien 3, which was a categorical flop.
Crap.
I actually don't mind it, but it wasn't the movie that he wanted. Studio interference, and he actually had decided he was retiring and never going to freaking do a movie again.
I think he got fired 3 times.
Yeah, it
in
must
that, and
be
he
rough.
didn't get the movie he wanted, which I think he did in this one.
Given the control of this movie, it's obvious that he's about to blow the world up. The thing I love about this movie, we know exactly what we're up for. You know who the characters are. You get a gruesome murder. You know that Somerset is the guru cop, but he's ostracized. He's a bit too smart for everyone. You know that Mills is just an idiot. How good's the basketball tie that he's wearing in the first scene? I don't know if you noticed it. It's terrible.
I didn't notice.
Have a watch the next time.
Mate, what about his big floppy white shirt? That old mid-90s style.
Yeah.
He rocked it.
It looked like a pirate shirt. Was that big?
It was the puffy shirt.
The puppy shirt.
I got to say, he looks amazing in this movie, Brad Pitt. He is
Come on.
eminently fuckable in this movie. He's up there with George Clooney for my turnability.
That's 2 weeks in a row you've mentioned that.
Well, this might be it. This might be the beginning of something special. Look, I saw this movie at Hoyteringham Mall, and up until then had never seen a movie like it. Probably the closest to it was the one we reviewed last week, Silence of the Lambs. But as we said, this one says hold my beer and just takes it to a whole other level. I saw it 3 times at the cinema. I saw it on the day it was released. I saw it on the Saturday, and I probably saw it a couple of weeks later. Of course, the first one was solo, because that's what I do.
Yep.
Now, boys, do you remember when you saw Se7en?
I have no recollection at all. But I think it probably would have been the mall.
Yeah. How good was the mall?
The mall was. I do have a mall story. Like when we all went there.
Yeah.
Do you remember we all went there and you two Morgs and Gow when we saw Attack of the Clones? It was a midnight session.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That was a big session. But that night, there was some guy dressed up. He had a pot from a pot plant on his head. Remember, as like the worst cosplay ever, Darth Vader, having a sword fight up the front. But then the highlight was some guy in the audience said, "It's my mate's birthday. Let's stand up and sing happy birthday to him." And he stood up, and everyone sung happy birthday. And then I don't know if it was me or you that I yelled out, "Oh, happy 50th," because at that stage we thought 50 was super old.
I remember.
But then in some beautiful birthday tradition, you yelled out, "Show us your cock." So through a full cinema. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that's next level. But then, and I remember, Morgs, you were there, and then in the Last Samurai, a preview came on, and you looked at the girl who was the lead, and you went, "She is so married to Tom Cruise right now." This is like straight after he'd married Penelope Cruz, and after he'd married Nicole Kidman. So that was that was my number one Warringah Mall best memory. But yeah, no, it was good input from you.
Good story. Yeah, it usually is. It's usually something to do with show us your dick or something like that. It works. What about you, Gow?
I can't remember where I saw this. I'm going to assume that you went and saw it and then told me it's well worth seeing. And
I think we went and watched it. We would have seen it. Yeah, I'm almost certain that we saw it together the second time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so. I know I watched it in the cinema, but details are sketchy.
95, you were in country, so you were in Australia.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll get to that later. What about you, Dan?
As if I got a fucking clue. Wouldn't have
it was a rhetorical question. But look, other than that, I reckon you've got a story to tell us, Dan. What do you reckon? How are you going up there on the land?
Yeah, it's been a real shit week on the land. So, loyal F-wits, I've been bragging about my travels for the last couple of weeks where I cut sick through the American Deep South on my steel horse that I ride, thanks John Bon Jovi. But I didn't realise I brought home a sneaky little friend with me. And no, it's not an STD, thanks to Star Wars bra. But actually, I'm the proud recipient of a blood clot in my thigh and deep vein thrombosis. So I kind of laughed it off a bit and decided that I'd just shake it off and decided to go about my business. Went to the amazing Noosa emergency room and they pretty much told me, yeah, you'll be right, and gave me some blood thinners. But today, my leg is puffed up like a real man's leg, and so I've got a 11-year-old girl's leg on one side and a proper guy's leg on the left-hand side. And it's a bit shit, to be honest. So, but the worst bit about it is that my actual doctors actually told me that I have to cut back on the piss because is something to do with coagulant. I wasn't really listening because I was just rocked by what my life is going to become. But yeah, so boys, apparently I've got to limit it to one glass of Vino Rosso tonight whilst I talk to you knuckleheads. So I don't know if this is good or this is bad. Actually, I do know it's fucking bad. And I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to concentrate and actually stay interested in what you chuckleheads have to say over the next hour and 45 minutes.
Morgs, did you ask them if that was a directive or just a recommendation?
Well, strangely enough, Gal, I took all I heard was recommendation, and I was actually going to fly off to Bali with my esteemed Born to Watch colleagues, but that was swiftly suggested by a vascular surgeon to be a very, very poor idea. So yeah, it looks like I'm stuck while my family goes off to have fun, and I'll just be eating nachos out of my belly button for the next week and enjoying my one glass of wine. Oh god!
And Morgs, I did actually come in here to pull you up on your behaviour.
Oh, okay, please, no, go for it. I do like a bit of feedback.
Yeah, so you went to the States, right, as an ambassador of Born to Watch. Right?
I did.
You did some important work there as a keynote speaker at the Born to Watch Con.
I did.
Then you rooted Star Wars bra.
I did.
I haven't heard about Doug, but what happened with Doug? But I've heard that Doug's got monkeypox now. So I'm thinking. But anyway, consider this an intervention, right? Just like Michael Douglas, David Duchovny, Rob Lowe, you've got a sex addiction.
If you can be addicted at it on one hand and very bad at it on the other, then yes, it's true. That
Okay.
I'm just trying to get better, coach, is really the
I
answer to that one.
I don't think a prerequisite for sex addiction is that you're very good at it. In fact, I would think that a precursor to sex addiction is that you're terrible at it.
Oh no, Duchovny would be a mad. He'd be a mad rooter. Who else?
Yeah.
Michael Douglas. Yeah,
He's what I'd like to
he'd be-
remember. Joel Schumacher. Or who was you talking about
Oh
before?
yeah, Joel Schumacher.
Oh, Charles shit. Yeah, he's the swordsman from. He's 10,000 down
Is
and
that-
still
Yeah,
batting.
is that what
So,
you were
well,
trying to do? Were you trying to be a bit of a Joel Schumacher over there?
Well, I did no. I mean, I did limit it to people that have listened to the Born to Watch podcast. So I stopped at 2. Sorry, Damo, you forgot. I also went to Quantico whilst I was in Virginia, West Virginia, and Virginia. So I checked out on the training program that Clarice Starling went through, and I'm still not quite sure what Jack Starling his interest was in Clarice.
Jack Crawford, mate. Jack Crawford.
What did I say?
Jack Starling. But anyway,
Maybe they got married and he took her name, and let's move on.
mate, very progressive, very progressive. Okay, look, usually here we would have a minute of self congratulations here, but again, we're just going to ask for you guys to give us a 5-star review on Spotify or on Apple, and follow the show and share to your mates. It'll really help the show to grow, and we're loving what we're doing, and we want you guys to come along for the trip. So support us and give us a good review. That would be amazing. Now, look,
get on board, people.
that's it. Join the Born to Watch train. And now, it's been a week off, but Gao is going to tell us a little bit about Se7en.
Right, here we go. The tagline: Detective Somerset is looking for a way out. Detective David Mills is looking for a way in. Now they're caught in a game where the price of sin is death. 2 cops track a brilliant and elusive killer who orchestrates a string of horrific murders, each one targeting a practitioner of one of the 7 deadly sins. Gwyneth Paltrow also stars in this dour, drizzly, sick with pain and blight movie.
Wow.
David Fincher guides the action, physical, mental, and spiritual, with a sure understanding of what terrifies us, right up to a stunning denouement that will rip the scar tissue off the most hardened soul.
Denouement.
What
What does that mean?
Well, I had to look it up, so glad you
Thank
asked.
you, thank
Because
you.
that's off the cover. And denouement, the final part of a play, film, or narrative in which the strands of the plot are drawn together and matters are explained or
Oh,
resolved.
denouement.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
God.
Use it all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there'll be a denouement in about an hour and a half
Yeah.
on this podcast.
Yeah. Let's see how many times we can use the word.
Yeah, that's the word of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. What else you got, Gao? What about box office?
Box office. So this came in the number 7 movie for 1995.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It grossed $327 million worldwide. 7th highest, said a $33 million budget.
Incredible.
But yeah, mate, look, some of the movies that were around. Do we want to go to the movies?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's all I do this for.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
It's
Biggest movie.
It's a great movie.
$366 million. So it's pretty close up here. Toy Story, $365 million.
Yeah.
GoldenEye, $356. Pocahontas, $347. Batman Forever, $336.
Terrible.
Apollo 13 into $335. Here's an interesting one, though. Waterworld, 7, I said 7 came in at 7, and Waterworld was number 9 with $264 million.
Sonny Payne, it's still a fucking shit movie, and we'll never be covering
The man
it
had
on Born
gills.
to Watch.
Yeah.
Beat top Jumanji number 10 with $262 million.
Oh,
Right. No, number 2.
What the heck? Was that what animal was that from Jumanji, or what was it?
Now, here's an interesting one for you. Coming in at number 12 in 95 was Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, $212 million.
That's the one where he comes out of the ass, right? Out of the rhino bum. Very funny. Very funny.
What do you reckon was the movie under that? At
Like number
209
13?
million. Yeah, number 13.
95.
Under Ace Ventura. One under it. Braveheart.
Oh my
No.
god!
Yep. Braveheart came in at 209 million. Outbreak at 190 million.
Shit, they were good movies.
Oh, yeah, Mutaba.
And then there's a heap.
Empire.
Bad Boys is in that year. 12 Monkeys.
Yeah. I tell you, this is a big. I reckon
Casino.
this would be one of the biggest cinema years of my life. I reckon I saw a lot of these movies at the movies.
And that's probably
You
why all
say
these.
that every week, every single week. You're like, oh, no, 1989 is the biggest year in fucking cinema. Like, you need to choose one, mate.
No. Fuck you, Morgs. Listen to what I'm saying. What I said was, I think I saw a lot of these movies in the cinema. I'm not saying it's the best cinema year of all time, right? What I'm saying is I saw a lot of these movies at the movies.
But that's why I think the dollars are all pretty similar because they spread out.
Spread it,
There wasn't
yeah.
any dominant.
There wasn't normally. There's one that's really dominant. It seems, but here, as I said, they're really close.
yeah.
You're talking $1 million in between some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really close.
Good work.
But while we're at 95, we've got a few songs. What do you reckon the top songs of 95 were?
Ooh.
I actually do know, so I'm not going to say.
Throw one at us, Damo.
Well, it was from the movie. I can't even think what it's called, but I know
Dangerous Minds,
Dangerous Minds.
Oh,
Gangsters Paradise,
Paradise.
number
Coolio.
one. Yeah.
Coolio.
Yeah.
Shitlocks. Good old Shitlocks himself.
Didn't he die like 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
he did.
Did
He
he?
passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coolio passed away. Yeah, 3
Wow.
weeks ago, something like that. Yeah, a little while ago.
Wow. He's now in
Was-
Gangster's Paradise.
Was Shaggy prevalent in 95?
No, he wasn't. But
Mr.
there's
Bombastic.
another one that's right up your alley, Morgs. TLC
Yeah.
with Waterfalls.
Oh, Lisa Left Eye
Yeah.
Lopez, rest in
Oh,
peace. Yeah, Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Another Born to Watch favorite, Kiss from a Rose.
Oh,
Seal
I've
himself.
sung that
Seal,
before. on
yeah.
this. I've sung
We've
that
talked
before.
about Seal before. It was going steady with Heidi Klum for a long time, but we're not sure if he took down Delta.
He
Oh,
definitely
in the
took
bag.
down- he definitely took down Delta.
Delta's in the bag.
100%.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think he marked all the women he slept with on his cheeks.
That's some bad. I mean, chick stick scars. That kind
Real
of
good
stuff has.
belt. Why put a notch on your belt and ruin it?
Why
when you
waste
can
it?
do it on your
Yeah.
cheeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, I've got another one for you as we go down the list here. There's a little bit more. There's a bit of Boys to Men. Water Runs Dry. Whitey loved Boys
I
to
love
know that
Boys to
one.
Men.
Oh.
But you talked about Bryan Adams last week.
Is this all for one?
No. Have you ever really?
Oh,
Really
dude,
ever
that's a
loved?
bad.
He's
It
got
won't.
some real
That's a bad
hit
song.
songs.
It's a bad
Is
song.
that for movie as well?
No, I don't think it is.
No.
I don't think it is. It's just it's a really bad.
But
song.
that All for One and that other Everything I Do, they're dreadful. And
Yeah.
I'd say they're worse than Stan Bush songs. Well, not Stan Bush songs are
Well,
brilliant.
but Stan Bush knows.
These
He
things
knows
are
where he
dread-
stands.
Yeah. Well, these things are just horrendous.
Yeah, that Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman is horrendous.
Quick funny story for you. Speaking of Stan Bush songs, last week I was walking through the house and my boys were out the front in the office where they play games. They're playing their video games and Josh is yelling in the mic to his friends, go left, and playing whatever video thing. And Charlie's sitting beside him, my youngest, he's 9 playing, and he's just sitting there playing quiet. And then all of a sudden he just starts going, "You got a mullet."
Oh, my God.
And he's just singing that to himself.
Mate, we're defining
That's the power.
We're defining pop culture in 2022.
But anyway, yes, Morg, sorry, you were right before. Shaggy is in there, Boombastic.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
Boombastic.
More.
Moist. Trigger.
Another cracker. Here comes the hot stepper.
Ini Kamosi.
Oh, Yes.
Yes, Inni Kamosi.
Here comes the hot stepper.
Turn it up.
Lyrical dancer.
Turn it up.
Of course, another favorite of us. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
Is this Montel Jordan?
Yes.
This is how we do it.
Damo's an
That's from-
R&B
that's
master.
Dad. You must have. Hey, Damo, the Berwick Street dads must have done a
Yeah.
Montel Jordan song, surely.
You know what? Thank you. No, but we haven't. But brilliant idea.
Yeah.
It's next up.
And you're in it. Because I think
Oh,
he reminds me of a basketball guy who's quite tall. And that's you, Morg. So you would fit in as the Montel Jordan.
And you know what? He'd find his uniform really easily. He'd just shop at Target Kids.
Fair enough. Except one leg has to be.
He's just wearing his daughter's tights for his clots. And his daughter is 7. So there you go.
It's a good look.
It's a good look.
But, yeah. But one more. Hootie and the Blowfish. Let her cry.
He's got a voice.
Yeah, he
are
does.
you Hootie?
Great.
Mate,
No,
well done.
I
I'll
am
tell you
not
what,
Hootie.
some of the people will be happy. There's a lot less singing this week. I could have really busted into Kiss from a Rose.
Bit of hot stepper, yeah.
But, anyway,
Bryan Adams.
we listened. We listened to the observation and not criticism from last week.
But that may mean compliment.
Absolutely.
It's not a criticism.
Absolutely. It's
could
an
be a
observation.
compliment.
Yeah, I know what Jess is going at.
Bad observation. The singing's awesome.
It's the highlight of my week. Now, look,
How,
Let's listen to
wait, whoa. Before you go on, how are we going with getting Sharpie or Phelpsy on the pod?
I reached out to Phelpsy the other week. Haven't heard back. And
Come on, Phelpsy. What's he got on?
We've got. Well, I don't know what he's
Cooling out
got
a
on.
gold. He's probably training.
It's calling out a fight. Yeah, calling out a
Him
gold
and
7.
Frelsey, calling out a goal too.
Yeah, no, and look, if Sharpie's listening, we're holding him to it. He says he's coming in December, January, so he'll be on. He'll be in the
New
he'll be in
Year.
the panic room in the new year over the Christmas holiday. So that'll be something exciting to look forward to.
Well, Sonny Payne is absolutely filthy that Damo has now done 1, 2, 3 quads, and I'm up here on his land, and I've promised him that we're going to do a couple of his favourites. So yeah, just know that our mate Sonny is very dirty on
Well,
all of
book
this.
him in, Daniel. Book him in. Get him down here. Take a road trip down. He can drive because you won't be able to because of your leg. Get down into the panic room.
Yep. Get on down here, Sundog.
Yep. Get on down here.
Bring Morgs.
Yep. Bring Dan from your land, and we'll do either Predator or T2 for you, Sonny.
Yeah, he
because,
wants both. So, and I think
we might do a double shot.
Just be a double up. We could do a double up.
He asked for a lot. We could do double up. It could be a Arnie double up. Why not? That'd be a long one. Yeah. You know about the long ones, don't you, Dan?
Shout out to Delta.
Anyway, on that note, let's listen to the trailer.
Do you like what you do for a living? These things you see?
You have to wear blinders sometimes. Most times.
Detective William Somerset is looking for a way out.
You're retiring. 6 more days and you're all the way gone.
So how long have you lived here?
Too long.
Detective David Mills is looking for a way in.
We'll be spending every waking hour together from now until the time I leave. I'll show you who your friends and enemies are.
Look, I've worked homicide 5 years. Not here.
Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a homicide.
they're caught in a game
No fingerprints and no witnesses of any kind.
Nope. About the only thing we know about that guy right now is he's totally insane.
where the price of sin is death.
There are 7 deadly sins. Gluttony,
You're going to come take a look at this.
greed,
No one touches anything.
sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy. 7. You can expect 5 more of these.
Body was found on Tuesday morning.
I hate this city.
We're gonna get who did this.
This will be the very definition of swift justice.
There are 2 more bodies, 2 more victims.
This guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient.
He's laughing at us.
He had a gun.
He's 2 murders away from completing his masterpiece.
Let's finish it.
Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
7.
So we're going to keep the roll on with the ratings. We've done some quality movies of late, and this one rates 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Certified fresh again at 82% on the tomato meter and 95% on the audience score. Again, we got really no idea what we're doing. We probably should start not spending so much time with them. But
It sounds really good.
it does sound really good. Well, it's 95.
Sounds
good.
important.
Yeah, look, 8.6 is pretty good. Anything above 8, Morgs isn't on IMDb that we think's a good movie?
Sorry, that's been my rule to live by. My life, 8+, it's definitely worth a look, and I think that is something that you should all adopt, fellow F-wits.
Okay, Gow, you want to take us through the cast and the crew, or the cast, or whoever we're going to talk about? Let's do that again. Hey, Gow, you want to take us through the cast, please?
Yeah, here we go. First up, Brad Pitt, Whitey's special friend.
Could be. Could be.
Got his start on the soap opera Another World in '84, and then had a recurring role as Randy on soap opera Dallas.
Wow, he's Randy, all right.
Yeah. He had an uncredited role in Less Than Zero as a party goer in '87, and then
Good movie, that.
yeah, and then had that small role in Thelma and Louise as JD.
That was the one.
Got him started. A River Runs Through It in 92, Contact, California, and True Romance, and then really hit it when Legends of the Fall came in '94. Now, we talked about Legends of the Fall last week, didn't you?
Yeah, we talked about in the Silence of the Lambs with
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
A movie about nothing. That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
He hated it.
Yeah, he actually wanted to do 7 after that because he wanted to get rid of the
cheese.
The cheese,
Yeah,
that's
yes,
it. That
was
was
awful.
exactly it. But yeah, so into 7, got paid 7 million coincidentally for 7 in 95.
I think they all did. That was part of the
Yeah.
contract. That may or may not be
Is
true.
that listener to this thing?
Yeah.
That may not be true.
Oh, okay.
But then started really hit the movies. 12 Monkeys after that. Sleepers in 95. 7 Years in Tibet. Meet Joe Black.
Shit movie.
No, I love it.
Do
I
you?
love Meet Joe Black.
Oh,
Claire Forlani.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Hopkins.
she's gorgeous.
Mate, I love it.
Okay.
The best bit was the bus scene.
Yeah, the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I
it.
love
That was the highlight of the movie.
diner scene where he's just
Goes for
chatting
7
around.
hours.
Such a good movie. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, into
Won't be done on Born to Watch.
into Fight Club in 99 as Tyler Durden.
What a movie. With
Yeah.
Fincher again.
Yep. And then Snatch in 2000.
Pikey.
You got a duck?
Yeah.
Well, a duck.
I like dags.
I like
dags. So
5
apparently
minutes Turkish.
he talked to Guy Ritchie and said, "I want to be in your next movie," and he couldn't quite get the English accent down, so they
So he went Pikey.
so he put him into Pikey, right? Because he couldn't get the English down. So yeah, that's how he got that role.
Nice.
Then the Mexican Spy Game, good movie. Spy
I
Game
love Spy Game.
with
Tony
Robert
Scott.
Redford.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Ocean, and then Ocean's 11 into all the Oceans spin-offs. Troy in 2004 played Achilles in Troy.
Calendar.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, big movie, 2005.
I like that. That's the beginning of that's the end of the Jennifer Aniston romance. Moved on to Angelina.
He did.
It's hard to argue.
Yep.
Regretting it now, I'm sure though.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yep.
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Curious Case of Benjamin Button, in
Shit.
2008.
That's Fincher again.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It's not good.
No desire to. Inglorious Bastards, Lieutenant
Amazing.
Aldo Rain.
Amazing.
Great movie. And then into Moneyball as Billy Bean in 2011.
He goes on a run now.
Yeah.
He's the biggest star on the planet.
Oh, yeah. Well, then 12 Years a Slave, Fury, The Big Short, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wins an Academy Award for that.
Yeah. Won the Best Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Was actually banned from entering China for his role in 7 Years in Tibet by the
Really?
Chinese government. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But little tidbit of information. Before Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt were cast in this, it was Al Pacino and Denzel Washington who were the early choices.
Yeah.
And then Pacino declined. He was already filming City Hall.
Good.
And then Denzel turned it down. He thought it was too dark, but they both sort of have regretted that decision.
It wouldn't have been the same movie with those two.
No.
And Pacino would have ruined it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked Pacino. In
He would have walked in and goes, "Look at that dead body. It's got a great ass."
Yep. But I say Brad Pitt's done pretty well because he's got a famous younger brother, Doug. You know, we all know him from the Virgin Mobile ads. And a lot of actors can rely on their looks, and Brad's had to do it purely on acting talent.
Absolutely.
That's my insight.
Yeah, well played.
nice
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
But he was the third choice for the role of JD in Thelma and Louise. Old Broody Baldwin was the first choice.
Billy.
Yeah, Broody Billy. But he went to do Backdraft
Thank God.
and just brooded that up.
I got to say, I actually think Brad Pitt is excellent in this movie.
Oh, he's really
He's
good.
fantastic.
Excellent.
Yes.
Like this, I've got to almost say that he's amazing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There's no doubt. This could almost be his best role. Like he is acting the shit out of it.
He was actually considered to be in The Matrix as Keanu Reeves' role.
Really?
Yeah. But
He doesn't look like a Neo.
no, I don't know how that would have gone.
You cannot imagine anyone else as
No.
Neo, can you?
No.
He might have done a pretty good Carrie Ann Moss. Similar asses. Bradley. Move on.
Yeah, you love him.
You
Why don't you
do
marry
love
him?
him? He's the
Seriously.
new George Clooney for you.
Oh, he might be. You know, this last rewatch of 7 might have been it.
All right, Morgan Freeman. Early roles in the movies Attica in 1980 and Brubaker.
Mate, he was a jobber.
Yeah, he
For
did
10
a lot.
years.
He did a lot
For
of
10
small
years.
screen stuff
Yep.
for a long time. But then into Eyewitness in 81 with Sigourney Weaver and James Woods,
Yeah.
William Hurt.
Yeah.
He was also in Another World. Had a recurring role in there, and then was in Lean on Me in 89 as Principal Clark.
I think that's the start because he goes, "Lean on Me," Driving Miss Daisy.
Driving Miss Daisy
Glory.
89, and then Glory 89. Yeah,
And then he's away.
and then Bonfire of the Vanities. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yep.
Power of One. Great movie.
Yep.
Really powerful movie.
Piss on the Piss Cop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Roy Necks.
Yep.
Yeah, Rooney.
And then
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Is he in that?
Yeah, he's the bad. He's the bad
I think I heard you say
Nazi
that once before.
Yeah.
kid that,
Yeah, right.
that bashes him. Stephen Dorff.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, so then Unforgiven, The Shawshank Redemption,
Yeah.
Outbreak,
Yep.
Seven, Kiss the Girls, Deep Impact, Along Came a Spider, The Sum of All Fears, $1 Million Baby, Gone Baby Gone, The Bucket List, Invictus.
Yeah. Plays Mandela.
Yeah. So he hit a real
Mate, he's still today. He's one of the best actors on the
Yes.
planet. He's everything he's in.
Plus the Nolan Batmans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
Yeah, mate,
Batman's.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. He plays Fox.
But yeah, Oscar
Lucius,
for Best
yeah.
Actor in Invictus and Best Supporting Actor in $1 Million Baby. So
Yeah, he elevates any movie he's in.
yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, mate. He in Shawshank Redemption, he's next level.
Yeah. And can do a voiceover.
I love
Oh
a voiceover.
yeah,
Can do a
Loves a
voiceover.
voiceover. Again, he is so good in this movie.
Oh yeah, really,
He
really
is
good role.
So good.
Yeah,
Just grounds the whole movie. The whole
He
movie
does.
centers around him.
but he bounces off the character of Brad Pitt really well. You know, like the differences in those characters.
For
I'm
sure.
sure we'll get to later on.
Yeah, definitely.
But then we're up with Kevin Spacey. He was in Wise Guy in '87. Remember Wise Guy, the TV series with Ken
that's
Wilde?
Ken
yeah,
Wilde.
yeah.
It's probably straight off the back of The Taking of Beverly Hills. Ken Wall.
Was he in that?
That's on Plex, man.
Did
Is it? Okay.
Did it have a jingle?
Oh,
Could
I
write
can't
one.
remember.
I'll write one.
But yeah, he was in Working Girl in '88, playing Bob Speck. See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
That's a funny movie.
Yeah, good
God,
movie.
that is hilarious.
funny
Gene
movie.
Wilder and
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. God,
Yep.
that's funny.
Glenn Ross in '92. And then
Great
he
flick.
goes on.
Great flick.
Yeah.
We need to do that
Yep.
on the pod. That's
It is a good
fucking
movie, that,
excellent
actually.
film.
Definitely.
Then he was in Swimming with the Sharks in '94. Sorry, '94. And then he goes on a run. The Usual Suspects,
Boom.
'95.
Wins Academy Award.
Yep. Outbreak, really good in that '95. And then Seven, A Time to Kill as Rufus Buckley.
Yeah.
L.A. Confidential, Jack Vincennes.
Oh, I tell you, we've got to
Yeah.
do LA Confidential. It's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yep, really, really good movie.
Yep.
That'd be great to do.
Yep.
The Negotiator, Chris Sabian.
Oh,
Get me Chris Sabian.
yeah. Sort of the movies with Goobs. Shout out to Goobs.
That's exactly-
It's his favorite. I think it could be his favorite movie of all time.
Well, when I said that, I
Really?
was thinking of Goobs saying it
Yeah,
to me.
I will
Get me
only
Chris-
talk
yeah, something
to
like that.
Chris Sabian.
Yes.
JT Walsh. JT Walsh is in that as well. It's a great movie. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
It's good.
American Beauty, for which he won Best Actor
Yep.
in 1999.
Life imitating art there a little bit.
Some good shower work.
Yeah. He loved it in the shower, didn't he?
He loves hitting the
The
showers.
highlight of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not big on the standing up self gratification. Doesn't work for me.
What, in the movies or?
Either.
But,
I'm a lazy masturbator.
Oh, is that what we're talking about?
He's in Pay It Forward and K-Pax. And then The Life of David Gale.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That's a really good movie.
Kate Winslet.
2003. Yeah, really good.
Laura Linney. He gets accused of killing Laura Linney.
Mm.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, no, it is.
He's
It's
wrongly
good
accused.
twist.
It's
Yeah,
a good
and
movie.
it's
Yeah, it's great.
Superman Returns, and then Horrible Bosses. He's in both Horrible Bosses movies, actually. But then Baby Driver in 2017, and House of Cards is really what he's been lastly in. And then since then,
And then he fucks it, and he's now
Yeah.
wiped from the face of the
he's
earth.
wiped pretty much.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to make a comeback somewhere.
He's got
But
no chance
got
of
no
making
chance
a comeback. I've got more chance. I've got more chance of acting in amateur theatre than he has in ever acting in another thing
Yeah.
on television or movies ever again.
He's done.
Yeah.
But interestingly, Val Kilmer turned down the role of John Doe before it went to Kevin Spacey.
Really?
Which I think, Kevin Spacey is a great actor, and he really nails this role. He
Yeah.
nails a lot of the roles, but yeah, apparently he was
If
up
you
for it.
like-
And so,
If you like
Sorry.
LA Confidential, you should read American Tabloid by James Elroy. It's excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. James Elroy is a great author, isn't he?
Yeah, but that American Tabloid, like LA Confidential, is excellent. The Black Dahlia is also very good, but yeah, American Tabloid, too difficult to film. I don't think they'll ever make a movie of it. Well, it's always rumored, but excellent book.
Is it a period piece as well?
Of course, yeah. It's
Yeah.
around the Bay of Pigs Cuba crisis in the 50s.
Ah, right.
Similar
Sweet.
time frame. It actually flows into LA Confidential, but it's it's an excellent book, fellow F-wits. If you're into that thing, get into it.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, no, Val Kilmer turned it down, and also, they also wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger for this role.
Oh,
Morgs.
good
But
As John Doe.
yes, John Doe. Yeah,
He would have found it difficult to sort of just meld into the crowds.
I think the fans are sick of this joke. All right.
All right. Gwyneth Paltrow made her film debut in a movie called Shout in '91, and also played young Wendy in Hook with Robin Williams in '91.
Yep.
Then was in a few movies for a few years: Flesh and Bone, Mrs. Parker, and The Vicious Circle. Then into Seven, had the role in Seven, and then Moonlight and Valentino in '95 as well. But then had the role of Emma Woodhouse in Emma in '96, and that got her the role of Viola in Shakespeare in Love. And she got
one of the greatest fucking travesties in movie history, Shakespeare in Love. Harvey Weinstein, you're a fucking grub and did not deserve to win any Oscars. You're a grub.
Mate, she won Golden Globe, SAG Award, and an Academy Award for Best Actress.
I think Dan has won a few SAG awards, hasn't he?
He's got plenty.
I always get pipped by Wardy. He's got me.
But yeah, Sliding Doors in '98 as Helen.
Oh, actually, the movie Sliding Doors, or
Yeah.
one of your Sliding
No,
Doors?
not my Sliding Doors.
Okay,
Actual
right.
movie.
Yeah.
She was in it. Great Expectations. The Talented Mr. Ripley in
That is a
99.
great movie.
Yeah. I didn't like that when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Wasn't big on it. And then when I watched it again, you sort of,
It takes some watching.
yeah, I think you got to understand it a little more because
Yeah. I think it's a serial killer movie. It's a great movie.
the
Beautiful.
role that he plays in that. There's a
Matt
few other
Damon.
play. Yeah, Matt
Oh,
Damon
Matt
plays
Damon's
it, but
incredible.
Yeah.
In that movie.
yeah, there's a few good performances in there.
I think all the three. So Jude Law, her, Matt Damon,
And what's his name? It's passed away. Shallow Hal.
Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That's it.
He is a standout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shallow Hal 2001.
Well, Shallow Hal, seriously, in this woke times of 2022, is still one of the best movies ever made. It's fucking hilarious.
You should
And it's so funny.
You great big fat girl.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow as Polly Perkins. And then obviously the Iron Man movies and all of Spider-Man, The Avengers, Infinity Wars. And Contagion, obviously, too, in 2000.
That's a good movie, Contagion. She's the one that starts the whole thing. She has the affair.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, she does.
She's the one that brings it back. Yep.
Do your wives get into the goop?
What the hell is that?
Oh, that's Gwyneth Paltrow's line.
Gwyneth's got a. It's like really expensive candles and shit you rub on your face and all sorts of women stuff but it's like chicken broth for $900 a bag and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been mocked mercilessly across the board. I think John Oliver gets into it a bit, but I sometimes find it on my wife's iPhone about 72 minutes into an episode.
All right.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Morgs. I thought you might have been talking about what Miggs threw at Clarice Starling in last week's episode, the goop.
I just did an 8-second 2-octave fart and I was on mute. It was so wasted.
Well, I did like your description of is it Meeks or Miggs?
Miggs.
The actual his throwing technique, his fling, his accuracy.
It's a tough shot.
To break it down, I think you did well.
Tough shot.
It is, yeah.
Degree of difficulty is very high.
Yeah.
Volume was just what impressed me because there's not a lot else to do.
He'd
in
have to
that
be blowing
style.
wind. It'd be like a young boy having a dick and just blowing wind.
So Gwyneth Paltrow auditioned for the role of Susanna Fincannon in Legends of the Fall, but lost out to Julia Ormond.
Yeah, okay.
But Brad Pitt was really impressed, so that's what got her the role in Seven.
Yeah, okay.
The fact that they were boyfriend
And they were
girlfriend at the
banging,
time.
so
so that helps.
That helps.
She auditioned for the role of Kelly Taylor in.
Oh, 90210.
90210.
Holy crap.
Yep. Which
Yep. Was there wasn't singing, was it? It was just
full instrumental.
No, is that Melrose Place? That's Melrose Place.
Yeah, no.
Keep
Luke
going.
Perry looking like a sick cunt. Yeah, I can't do the rest of the melody.
Oh,
Anyway, move
it's a
on.
shame.
So it also went for the role of Rose in Titanic, but that went to Kate Winslet. And she turned down the role of Rachel Keller in The Ring.
Oh, that with Naomi
Before they
Watts.
went with Naomi Watts. Yeah.
That's a good movie. The Ring.
That's a really good movie. Yeah, that's worth a
really
relook.
good.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ringu was the original in Japan.
Certainly was.
Wow, listen to that.
He can speak Japanese.
He's bringing the heat.
Arigato.
Hi. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Watashi wa kore wa Starbucks desu ka? Which translates roughly to I am Starbucks.
What's up, gal?
All right. Well, then we start getting into some of the smaller roles in the movie. We got Ali Ermi. Now we won't spend too much time on him.
He's great though.
What do you mean you won't spend time on him, Gal? He was
great in
outstanding in this. I was blown away by how good he is.
I love the scene where they're talking and he picks up the phone and goes, "This isn't even my desk." Mate, he's very good.
See, and this I was going to get Morgs involved here because he, occasionally, I thought he was going to go a little bit Inspector Todd like.
Yep.
But he didn't. Like he was. But Morgs, since you're the expert and I love. Yeah. So Morgs, I'm going to give you a line, right?
Yeah. Okay.
This is from the movie, and I want you to. And this is a police captain's line, but I want you to do it as Inspector Todd.
Excellent.
So the line was, "We've got one dead guy, not three. Don't even start that big brain of yours cooking on this." So police captain said that, but have you got the line?
We've got one dead guy, not three. Please don't even start your big brain on this.
Pretty good.
Nice work, Inspector Todd.
Now, the reason I said we wouldn't spend much time is because we've gone through
we've done
his whole thing. So I don't want to talk about all of his background, but good in the movie.
I'm with you.
Reginald E. Cathy. Now, he's Dr. Santiago in this.
Right.
The doctor at the start. So he got his start in a gun show, Spencer for Hire. 87.
Spencer.
Was in What About Bob? Was The Mask in Freeze in The Mask in 94. Was in SWAT. And it was Dr. Franklin Storm in The Fantastic Four. But you would know him, Whitey, because he played Norman Wilson on The Wire.
Right. Yes. I do know him. Yes. Absolutely.
Was also Freddie on House of Cards.
Right. Yep.
Still nothing?
Nothing for me.
Nothing. Morgs? Oz, he was in Oz too. He played Martin Querns in Oz.
Oh, no, I know him. He's the African American guy.
Yes.
He's the guy that's like the stomach gets stretched.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
The only one we got is John C. McGinley.
Legend.
Oh, he's the cop that breaks down the
California.
door.
Yeah.
SWAT before dicks.
Yes.
But interestingly, he was an understudy to John Turturro in a Broadway play or an off-Broadway play called Danny and the Deep Blue Sea. That was early on, but then he was spotted by Oliver Stone when he was doing that, and so
he's a bit of an Oliver Stone muse.
Oh, he's in like 7 or 8 of his movies, but got cast straight after into Platoon as Sergeant O'Neill in 86.
Yeah.
Then Wall Street, 87. Talk Radio in 98. Born on the 4th of July. Had a massive role in that, Official Number 1.
Yep.
He was in Point Break, On Deadly Ground, Surviving the Game.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That got
one of Morgs' favourites in the mid-90s.
Yes, but I've been retired for a lot of years.
You didn't survive though. His camouflage was bad. Morgs went with the white camouflage.
He was in The Rock, Captain Hendricks in The Rock, 96. Any Given Sunday, 99, good movie. And then most notably recently, he was in Scrubs for nearly 10 years as Dr. Perry Cox. And then he's had a bit of a run in Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the last year or so. I think Series 8.
When it became shit.
Yes. When it started to jump the shark.
Is he Ted C. McGinley's brother?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Oh, John C.
I believe they're related anyway.
He's got one of the best lines in the movie, old John C. is when they bust into Sloth. And he pulls back the sheet and he's like, "Fuck me." Yes! Yeah, it's great.
But anyway, that'll do. We'll go into. You guys want to talk about David Fincher?
Yeah,
I know you want to have a chat about him.
I think we definitely should because he's amazing. Am I doing?
Oh, if you guys want to start, I mean,
okay.
He directed. We know he directed video clips for a long time.
Well, yeah, we don't want to. I don't think we want to rain on. We don't want to rain on.
Well, that's what I was going to do that for Morgs.
I'll talk a bit more about that in Film School for F-Wits. But yeah, he definitely a very interesting career. But I think mostly was the false start he had to his filmmaking career with Alien 3. I think we touched on that earlier. But It sounds like an absolute shit show with what happened and just a lot of studio involvement and a really poor script that he inherited on the projects when he was all stoked to basically follow James Cameron and Ridley Scott in what could have been an amazing franchise. But it's fair to say all the Alien movies went downhill after that, and Prometheus is a bag of turd as well. And there hasn't been a good one, I think, since Aliens in '86. But yeah, he was very disillusioned by the whole filmmaking practice, and he said, "Fuck that! I'm going back to make music videos." And he was actually enticed back into filmmaking because of the Se7en script. There's a good story about that, which I'll talk more about in Film School for Fuckwits. But yeah, really incredible music video director for both before all this went down. So
absolutely, but he was massive. But have a go at this, right? So he gone Alien 3, then he goes 7, then he goes The Game, Fight Club, Panic Room, Zodiac, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, The Social Network, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He then starts House of Cards.
Yep.
Right? He then does Gone Girl, which will be done on Born to Watch because it's freaking amazing. He then starts Mindhunter.
Yep. What a cracking series.
Mindhunter's amazing. I
can't believe it's not back.
I hope they come back with a season 3 because it is brilliant.
It is awesome.
Mate, this guy just does not do anything really bad. He's now become a bit of a Netflix guy because he did Mank and he did a couple other things for Netflix, but this guy is an absolute artist. He knows exactly what he wants. He's next level good, David Fincher. He could be this generation's Steven Spielberg. He's incredible. Even the movie The Social Network, which you would think would just be some boring story.
Is it good? I've
avoided
it.
Really good movie.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It's like they started Facebook. That's the movie.
Yeah, that's the movie. And what he does with that, he's incredible. Yeah. He's brilliant, David Fincher.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good watch, mate. You should watch that.
Yeah, you're a big Facebook guy, so you know.
Well, as I mentioned before, that I'm now Facebook friends with your number one fan, John Bull.
Yeah.
Shout out, we're mates.
Yeah, Bully. Well, we're trying to get that. We're trying to build that Born to Watch community.
Well, you should be getting like a Nobel Peace Prize for bringing people together.
Something like that.
I don't think I'm asking for too much.
Well, you said that when we book a live event, we'd need a broom closet. I think we might need something substantially better.
Get two
broom closets. Three broom closets. Okay,
questions. What before you finish on Fincher, and I will revisit it in Film School for F-Wits, but I think that everything you just discussed was superseded by his early work for Johnny Hates Jazz when he
Shattered Dreams.
When he directed the Shattered Dreams film clip in '88.
Seriously.
Mate,
sing it. Giving me nothing but shattered dreams. Shattered dreams.
Feel like I could run away.
Oh, he did a few. He did Steve Winwood.
Hang on a minute. He directed She Like the Wind.
Swaz.
The Swaz.
And Janie's got a gun for Aerosmith.
Yeah, that sent him through into the stratosphere. He did Vogue for Madonna. He did
Paula Abdul. He did one for Paula Abdul as well.
Not straight up.
I think it was.
With the cat.
That's 2 steps forward,
that's
2
that one.
steps back.
Oh, did we mention one of your favourites, Morgs? Rick Springfield.
Jesse is a friend.
What about Rock the Cradle of Love?
Oh, Billy Idol.
Yeah. Okay.
So
anyway,
he did Say You Will for Foreigner as well, which was massive.
Oh, great song.
Yeah,
great song. How good's Foreigner? Seriously,
awesome. Saw him in concert.
What? Probably in '74.
I saw the Doobie Brothers in Foreigner. It was about 95, 96 Entertainment Centre.
The Doobie Brothers.
Doobie Brothers Foreigner doubleheader.
Can't feel it coming.
Yep.
Day by day, people get ready for the blues. Some are happy, some are sad. Oh, we gotta let the music play. Yeah, great song. Anyway, question time. And we're done with singing, I think, for tonight. Question time. Okay, so question 1. Is there a better...
Wait. Before you go on, my whole Film School for F-Wits is about music video directors that have now become filmmakers. So we are far from done with singing tonight.
Excellent.
Good call.
Excellent.
Can't wait.
Okay, question time. Question 1. Is there a better opposites attract partnership than Somerset and Mills in cinema? I'm going to give you some suggestions here. Joe Hallenbach, Jimmy Dix, Last Boy Scout.
That's a good one. Really good.
Okay. Now,
underrated movie. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. John Connor, Webster Smith, Rising Sun, Connery, Snipes. Lee and Carter, Rush Hour. Ivan Danko, Art Ridzig, Red Heat.
Yeah, good.
Good
Gainham.
K and J, Men in Black.
Yeah, shit.
Yep.
Yep. I like them.
What about Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart?
Well, they're not opposites
Essentially
attract. They're like they're mini me and big me.
But what about LA Confidential?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, well played. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's current. It's on trend.
What's his name? And it's Bud. Yeah. Bud White and what's Guy Pearce's name? Ed Exley. Yeah, Bud White.
They
and Ed
were
Exley.
polar opposites.
They were. That's a good movie.
That's a good one.
I revisit that often.
Yeah.
Look,
mate, what about Danny and Sandy?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
she was no T-bird.
She was teabag.
I thought you'd gone back to Australia.
Sandy,
Danny, Sandy.
No.
Drowning at the drive-in. Okay, look, I could have put Tango as well.
Monday at school.
What about just on that scene? What about the hot dog jumping into the hot dog bun at the end of that song on the
screen, on the cinema screen,
mate? I reckon we're gonna have to do Grease. Yeah, we're gonna have to do Grease in honor of Olivia Newton-John.
There'll be some singing in that one.
Well, it would be a musical. We have to sing the whole thing. We have to sing the whole thing.
A singing tribute to Grease.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it'll be like anyway, I'm going to work on the arrangement, and we're going to do a full musical version of Grease on Born to Watch. I'm going to go Joe Hallenbach, Jimmy Dix.
Yep.
Just because
I like that.
That's the kinds that shred. Is that
that's Last Boy
Scout? Yeah.
It's good. It's Bruce Willis and what's his name?
Damon Wayans.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Question 2: Is Mills justified in killing John Doe at the end?
Oh yeah.
Put yourself in his position. Do you shoot?
Yeah. Quicker than he did.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the whole question.
Box?
What's in the box? Yeah, I think that's the whole question. That's the whole thing about it. Do you or don't you? And he's driven to that point, and that's the whole edge of the movie. That suspense gets you there, and like, does he or does he do it? But he knows he's a hothead. He knows. So
wrath.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you think, Morgs? Do you shoot?
I don't want to blow my load, but that I want to come back to that question at the end of the podcast.
Sweet.
I don't think he does until he finds out about the baby. That tips him over the edge.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So what happens to him after the movie? He's just driven away. Does he go to jail?
Nah.
Does he get off? What's the go?
Yeah.
I don't think he gets off. I don't think.
Do you think it's manslaughter? Do you think it's because it's obviously cold-blooded murder?
It's heavily provoked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he comes back to the force.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. I think.
I would think if your wife's head was decapitated and handed to you, and you killed someone, you got pretty good grounds to maybe get off.
Yeah, I think he'd probably get off.
You would be stoked if you did go to jail and you were his cellmate and you got to root him.
Spread that monkeypox around.
Okay. Episode 4. Question 4. Is this a better movie if they show what's in the box at the end?
No, I was happy with the way it was.
I think that's the whole point of it, is that they're making you think about that.
Well,
and they're not going to just show you the head because it's too graphic.
So when I saw it, I didn't know whether it was her head or the baby or the fetus.
Well, you didn't.
So that was so you don't. But it's
I didn't pick it. I didn't pick that at all. When first it's a bomb or there's something, I didn't think that until he starts saying to him, and that's the whole thing. But that leaves it with the viewer.
Yeah,
I've got to listen. I've got to listen to this about this very question.
Okay, excellent.
But I think just before, as soon as he arrived at the police station, before John Doe handed himself in, they said, "Your wife's just rung. You need to get an answering machine." Just to take any sort of thought away that it could be the wife. Yeah. Like they just dropped that in there. It's like, oh, right, okay.
Really
so
clever.
The wife's
Red herring.
still around.
That's good.
Yeah, so good.
Okay, and the last question. What's the worst murder in the movie?
That's a tough one.
No, I have very strong views on this. It is the leather goods murder of the prostitute.
Lust. Yeah, I was going to
Lust.
say lust. Yeah.
That is and the way that they set that up and how they just have the still image of the creation and they don't show too much of the graphic of what happened, but your mind gets to fill in the gaps. Awful.
Yeah. But that's the whole movie. That's the brilliance of this movie is that you never see the act. You see the aftermath or you see whatever, and it's left up to you to decide what goes on. And that is, look.
The guy in the bed's brutal.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. So
I remember that was brutal.
Damo?
Look, I would say, as exactly what Morg said, that lust one was this classic example of show sort of not tell storytelling. And once your mind did figure it out, and you actually had to think about it, like what
the fuck is that?
And once you worked it out, and then it dawns on you, and you go, "Oh my God, that is insane. That is horrific." But it's in your mind. You really
incredible
had to
performance.
think about it.
Incredible performance by Leland Dawson in that scene.
He was very good.
Incredible performance. He is
hyperventilating.
He's gone. It's hard not to have lust. I think that is the one. But God, sloth's bad.
Yeah, 100%. That was
sloth is
1
bad.
year.
And that's it. And that's the thing, the calculating. Like, and I can have a question 6 here. Who the fuck thinks this shit up? Like, I'm not living next door to this screenwriter. I'm moving.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
Yeah. I was watching that last night and thinking, it's just brutal. Like, who comes up with it? Who's going to go, this will be good.
Yeah.
This will be really good.
It sort of makes the is it Envy where she cuts the nose off to spite her face? Like it's just like, please. Yeah, she's taking some tablets. Move on.
Yeah, and the other thing though, the brilliance with that Envy one is that because it was sort of quick and he handed himself in, he didn't want to give her any limelight either, which is just another level of that sort of pride and envy. It's like, yep, you're dead.
Yep.
No limelight for you. I'm going to hand myself in now.
Yep.
It was a quick one.
Did you guys? It's kind of related, but did you guys? One scene that stood out for me on this revisit was just before they go into the police station, before John Doe surrenders. It's the only time that the sun breaks out in the city.
It does,
and so I was really interested as to why he chose to do that, and I couldn't work it out with my own feeble brain, and I did some research.
Can I have a stab at this? Can I have a stab at this? I think it's because, and I read something about what he viewed Gwyneth Paltrow as in the movie, as the only sunshine in the movie, right?
Right. Okay.
Is it because she's dead, and she's gone, and it's her looking down?
Possibly.
Oh, it's as plausible as anything, but it's obviously it was a definite decision by the director to do it
for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's so brilliant. The movie's brilliant.
Yep,
it really is. Okay, good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about the things that we liked about the movie, the things that we didn't so much like about the movie, and the things that are downright ugly. We're going to start with our guest today, Damo.
I start to the intro. Like, that intro was freaky with the handwritten names, the text, the credits.
Yeah,
that was a brilliant intro. The music, 9 Inch Nails, the flickering lights. I love that. But as you said, it was also the gruesome thing. The crimes were good. The crimes were just next level. How you thought of those, and it wasn't like a Saw type movie where the kill was sort of the main part of the movie. You really wanted to see it. The sort of the deaths in this were more like a means, not an end.
Yeah,
and I just loved those crimes. But one other thing, the scene that I really did like was the cafe scene with Morgan and Gwyneth.
I think that's almost the best scene in the movie.
When she told him his advice to her when she sort of cried. That was the only time I've you sort of just choke up.
You spoil that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then she cried, and then you just automatically sort of go, "Oh my God!" Yeah. And I loved that scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene, and it's the only part of the movie where there's a bit of lightness.
Yeah, that's right.
Like that's the only for the rest of it. It's dark, it's dank, it's dirty.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing really about them except they're police investigating these horrible, horrific murders.
Yeah. What about you, Gao?
Look, mine was sort of along that line, Damo, was the suspense of the movie. And I remember watching this originally and just you're getting drawn along because you don't know where it's going. And also, the 7 deadly sins, there's going to be 5 more because the first 2 are bang, bang. And then it's just how that works out. And then he comes into the police station and you're like, what's going on here? And then trying to figure out that whole story. And I just remember that unraveling and thinking, wow, it's really good storytelling. And they tell that so well.
Totally.
Yeah. And as you said, the deaths are gruesome, but they just paint this picture of this, this person who's so methodical and patient and evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was mine. That was the good for me.
Dan, what do you got, mate?
Yeah, I had 2. I think continuing in the theme that G-Men's touched on, the screenwriter Andrew Kevin Walker, just what a mind to devise all of this. Apparently, he sent the script to another screenwriter to ask for feedback, and the screenwriter basically said, "You need help." And he thought, "Oh, I need some help with my screenwriting," and he's like, "No, mate, you need help. Like you're a freak." So, I just think the ending. We touched on it earlier, but I've seen this movie countless times, and again, just watching it, how did he come up with this? Like, I'm just so in awe of the talent to figure that out, and what an incredible ending it is. And then the other good for me was just, I think, Brad Pitt playing against type. He's always the golden-haired boy and the true hero throughout, but he's a dipshit in this movie, like an absolute moron at times, and filled with machismo, and definitely. A complete contrast to Somerset's intellectual ways in which he goes about deciphering the clues. And I think it was a strong role for Brad Pitt to take at that time. He could have been typecast and not given us the rest of the roles that he goes on to do really well. But I just think he was exceptional.
Yeah, look, I agree. I think the 2 leads are phenomenal. The relationship they have, the way it starts, where they're pitted against each other, and then essentially they grow to respect each other, and it's just incredible. They are operating on another level in this movie, and Brad Pitt I think it's his best performance. If you take out Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, this is his best performance, hands down. I love his leather jacket. I love it. I would love to have that leather jacket. If I could get one if they made a fat guy Brad Pitt leather jacket like that, I'm all over it.
His Fight Club one was pretty cool too.
That is cool. But this one's cool too.
Yeah.
Again, I got the title sequence. The title sequence is amazing, and that started a career-long relationship with Trent Reznor through all his movies for David Fincher. I loved the library scene. I love when Somerset comes into the library to do research, and the security guards are there, and they're playing poker, and then they go, "Here's culture," and then they play Air on a G-string. And that classical music is just incredible. Again, it's one of the very few moments of peace in the movie, and I love that song. I love that piece of music is incredible.
Oh, also those guys' job, like, can you get a better job?
Oh, the best job.
Oh, I'm security at the library. Oh, yeah, what do you do? Oh, shut up at night and play cards.
Yeah, it's no way.
What a gig!
It's no way.
Not too many people coming in to steal the books.
No, and there was like 5 of them. It's really heavily manned.
I tell you what. Great job. And I love, and along with Morgs about how much of an idiot Mills is, I love the crib notes. I love
Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes.
Yeah,
takes him back.
Canterbury Tales for Dummies.
Takes him back. Takes me back to school.
Yeah.
And you get your Cliff Notes, the books, and you don't want to read the book. So I love
It's like,
that.
oh, you read it? And he goes, yeah.
Some of it. For me, I'll run straight into bad. For me, I'll tell you what, a lot has got to go right for them to solve this crime. A lot. And I'll start really with the fridge plastic, under the linoleum slices. Like they need the fact that he put that together so quickly. I was like, right, yeah, you're a dead set genius, right? If he doesn't find those things and realize that they are from underneath the fridge, then everyone. Well, I'll tell you what happens. Tracy doesn't die because he never gets that far, right? They really only gets to.
As a collective, we've known quite a few Ds from the New South Wales Police Force over our time. I don't know that any of our mates are getting that glue.
Nah. And for me, it's such a nitpick because it's just a plot device to move it along quickly. But
what about the scene where where they're looking for the fingerprint, and he says, "Oh, this can take up to 3 days," and they go and lie on the lounge, but then they get it out, but then it goes into John Doe's timeline. So if that had taken longer, because they needed him on that day and said he's been in that bed for a year to the day. So
But
if
I
they've
guess-
gone longer, then they maybe don't find that. So that doesn't go into his plan. So that's a bit of a,
but on the flip side, he picked his mark because he was a bad guy anyway. The guy that he kills, he's a
Yeah.
bad guy. So he knew effectively knew these prints would be in the system. So they knew he'd pick up the prints quickly. But
Yeah, possibly.
there's so many things that have got to go right.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that's the only thing. Anyone else got anything bad?
No, but I would say too though, it's not like the Joker in was it The Dark Knight or the second one? There was the most obscure things that had to happen where this wasn't too. Yeah, you're right about nitpicking because it was still that was kind of Morgan Freeman when he was that skeptical, thoughtful. He just looked at things differently. So I didn't find it that weird.
I agree, and
yeah.
it sets it up because the first thing he says at the movie is, "Did the kids see it?"
Yes,
and so he's on another
exactly.
level.
Yeah,
He's
that's
on
right.
another level.
He looks at things differently. Yeah.
So I get that, but God,
yeah, you're right.
It's rough.
Well, but so for me, I think just the depth of the relationships, the toll the city had taken on them, and the amount of work they accomplished didn't indicate the time frame. It indicated the time frame was too short. And what I mean is when
it's like 4 days, 5 days.
Well, when
How long is
Gwyneth
it
when
go
they
for?
came over for dinner, Gwyneth said to Morgan Freeman, "He's told me so much about you."
Yes,
they've worked for 2 days.
Yes,
right, and then the city had basically worn down Gwyneth and Brad. They'd been there for 5 minutes.
Yes,
and he'd already sort of read the Cliff's Notes like the next day. Now there was about 5 or 6 books.
Yeah, he's not that bright.
So yeah, I know. So the things just happened
super
the
quick.
time frame, that, like I said, the depth of the relationship seemed a little bit too deep for someone that has known each other for 2 days.
And
or
then she
3
rings him and
days.
says, "Oh, you're the only person I know. Can you come and talk to me?"
Yeah,
What's the
but
baby? You
I
met him last night.
Yeah, I'm fully nitpicking here, though.
Yeah, and it's a
because
massive
it is
nitpick.
very hard to not to find anything bad.
Yeah.
I've got one. It's more of a scene. It's towards it's at the end when they're flying in the chopper and they're going out over the paddock and over the power lines to find out where they're going to have this meet, and they fly out and it's obviously just all desert, and John C. McGinley says, "Oh, there's nothing out here. There's no ambush." And then the car pulls up beside a caravan, like an old derelict caravan. So I'm like,
You're right.
There's plenty of room
There
there
could
for
be
someone to be a bomb. People in there. Anything could have happened there. It was just quite funny when I looked. I was like, they pulled up right at that one spot.
Yep.
What about you, Morgs?
Oh, just old mate Bill's leather goods, his creation. That unfortunately that image will stay with me for a long time. That just creeps me the fuck out. It's not. It's just bad because Andrew Kevin Walker could come up with that. It just must be a twisted unit. But that's so grim.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone got anything for ugly?
I've got one thing.
Yeah, shoot.
And that's when they were shaving their chests.
Yes.
To put the wire on, and they just left the hot water running. So for someone in my house, when our hot water, we're prone to have it run out, I took it personally. Like, you need to turn that tap off.
Yeah, right.
And that's why
you're on another level. You're operating on another level.
Yeah. So I limit my showers at home to about 1 to 2 minutes just to make sure that that's why I really enjoy my showers after a podcast here in the change rooms,
And that's why you actually missed out on getting the role in American Beauty that Kevin Spacey got.
Yeah, couldn't handle a shower that long. But yeah, that was it for ugly.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Well, my ugly is it's just the ugliness in the movie, like the way they set it up, which is actually probably a good thing, but just all the derelict buildings that these people are in, and it's all browns.
What a shithole. What a shithole.
It's all browns, and even the tan overcoat that Somerset wears, and all of it just goes into this drab sort of thing. And all the rain, they did that to keep obviously that drizzly sort of mood there, but all that just brings that down. That the whole scene is always dark. Like he goes into the library and it's only the little lights,
the lamps,
the little green lamps, and there's no light. There's no lights on. He's going in there. So that whole thing just it adds so much to the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
In the ugliness state.
My balls.
What was that?
Derelict my balls. Morgs, you got anything? Is that it, Gal?
Yeah, that's it.
Morgs, you got anything for ugly?
No, nothing for ugly.
Yeah, look, and I think what we're saying here is we're saying that the things we're picking about the bads and the uglies are actually could be goods because they add to the movie. So and so with me, my ugly is Sloth. That whole scene is brutal, and it is so good But God, I can only it would smell like Morgs's bedroom.
Would it, though?
After a night on the piss?
Because it had all the air fresheners all over the roof.
That's funny you picked that up. I called Whitey after I watched it this week, and that was the first time I noticed that they were air fresheners in any viewing. I was like, oh.
What scent? What scent are we talking? Sandalwood?
Yeah.
Pine?
You'd need more than sandalwood.
It looked like a lot of pine to me. So.
Do you think it was pine? Well, not necessarily it's pine just because it's got the tree shape doesn't mean it is a pine.
Well, no, it
could
be
be
vanilla.
strawberries, vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Could have been a mixture.
Well, it would
That'd be nice.
It would have been whatever it is mixed with rotting corpse.
Yeah.
I think the rotting corpse wins.
Just when the corpse, well, it's not a corpse then, but when it coughs. Yeah,
Oh,
just jump back. It doesn't just freak you out because you think, oh, there's a dead body in the bed there.
God.
Is that's the only that's the only jump scare in the film, I think. And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
That's why it is so good, yeah.
And just, I don't know if anyone's got on and listened to this, but that guy, he weighed 90 pounds.
I do have him. I got his name.
90 pounds. 96 pounds and lost 6
And he lost
pounds.
6. Yeah.
Like, that's incredible, mate. I've done shits that weigh 90 pounds.
Yeah, I was going to say your weight can fluctuate by that much with a visit to the top bathroom. So,
absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, well done. That's pretty good. Let's move on to listen to this, and we're going to start with G-Man.
I've got one here. Kevin Spacey's name is not in the opening credits. Now, I noticed that when I looked this up, but I noticed when I started, I said, well, he's not one of the starting credits. He's quite a big name in this, but he
was uncredited. Yeah.
Well, they kept that out because they wanted to keep the suspense of
suspense,
what's
yeah.
happening to John Doe. Obviously, so you don't know that he's in the movie, but he's actually credited twice at the end. So when it finishes, it comes saying starring Kevin Spacey, and then it goes into the order, which also goes up the screen.
Yeah, in reverse.
Yeah, it goes in reverse.
Yeah.
So which is just really different, but that's what he wanted to look like. Yeah. So that was my little one. One more was that the New Line executives actually didn't want to make that film ending. Obviously, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But Brad Pitt refused if they changed it.
Yeah.
Which I think changes the whole movie. If,
Well, they wanted
if it
it to-
becomes a happy story that
They wanted it to fade to black. Originally, it was going to be a fade to black. Yeah. There's a few changes at the end there. Yeah. What about you, Damo? You got anything?
Yeah, or a couple of things. Just one thing, you talk about the city because they never tell you where it is, but some people do theorize that it's Gotham City.
Well, where's
Really?
Batman?
Pre-Batman.
Right.
Do
you think Mills becomes Batman after?
Well, it could be, but if you just look at that city and the crime there and the lighting, it has a real Gotham sort of
believable.
feel.
Yeah, I believe they intentionally did that though. They didn't name it as a city.
Didn't name
so
it?
because it was a New York City pizza place, but that's a chain, so it wasn't
Right.
actually New York City. So
Yeah, I know. So, also, as with Doug Pitt, as you bring him in, there's a company called the Missouri Mothers Brewing Company. They enlisted Doug Pitt to do an ad where he did a parody of the What's in the Box scene. And it is absolutely hysterical. Like, I was laughing my tits off. It's a 3-minute ad.
Really?
Made in
Should we put that in the
2019.
show notes?
Mate,
Let's
it
put
is
that in the
so
show
freaking
notes.
funny.
I'll look it up.
Just Google.
who's it for?
It's the Missouri Mothers Brewing Company. And it's got, Doug Pitt. And he plays Doug Pitt, but he is Brad Pitt. He's holding the guy down. What's in the box? And, I won't spoil it for you, but just watch it and you will cack your tits off. And just one other thing too, they did make a head. They did make Gwyneth's head that was in the box. I don't know if any of you got this, but in 2011, they made the movie Contagion. That prop had been held in storage for 16 years and they used it in that movie.
Okay.
Really?
Yep.
She's a bitch in that movie.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. I watched it again during COVID.
Yes.
Just to
very
really freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
you know?
it's very COVID.
Definitely.
Like.
Yep. Morgs, you got anything? Listen to this.
Nah, Damo just stole mine, and I foreshadowed it about 3 segments ago. So thanks, Damo.
Funny. Okay, so what about all the books in John Doe's apartment were actually written for real?
Yes,
so they were all
yes,
handwritten.
Took
2
them a couple of
months.
months.
Took 2 months to do it.
What?
It costs $15,000 to get the books written. So yeah, and Morgan Freeman reckons it's about 2 months it would take to read them as well. There were that many of them, right? For the gluttony scene, they had 7 crates of cockroaches thrown on top of the guy that was lying on the ground. They had to put earplugs in his ears and cover his mouth so that the cockroaches can go in. They still found their way into his undies.
Oh, that's a shit
Jesus.
gig. Shit
Yeah,
gig.
that's a shit gig. Yeah. What's another one? So
Brad Pitt actually broke his arm.
Yeah,
I heard he injured
well,
his arm.
he's actually sliced his arm.
Yeah, because he went through a windshield.
That's when he's jumping across the cars
Yeah,
in,
when
the,
he's
in the
chasing.
chase scene, which is a fucking amazing chase
Yeah,
scene.
it's really good.
Yeah. What about the diner where Somerset and Tracy meet?
Yeah.
It's the same diner that Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke meet in Training Day.
Oh.
And they sit in the same booth. Pretty
Right.
cool. Yeah. It's called the Quality Coffee Shop in downtown LA. So there you go. Bit of listen to this.
Good stuff.
Yeah, bit of good stuff there. Hey, did anyone get 1 degree of Kurt Russell?
Oh, geez, that's a toughie.
It's a tough one.
1 degree of Kurt Russell.
Maybe
I've mentioned it about 7 times tonight.
might just go for Brad Pitt, eh?
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Of course, yeah.
We've had that before. We've had
Yeah,
that
we
before.
have.
Oh, you've done that same. Well, then we got to go different one.
Well,
Oh, no.
there's.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Yeah, we've gone Brad Pitt. I stopped looking after that.
Yeah.
Okay, notable quotables. There's not a heap of quotes, to be perfectly honest, in this.
No, the major one is what's in the box.
Yeah, well, that's obviously the main one, isn't it?
I like the one in the first scene when they find the first body and then they talk about it, and then Bill says to him, "He's dead," and he goes, "Thank you, doctor."
Mate, I love and Damon. I love this because he's looking for a tree.
From a Yoda club.
This guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient. He's a nutbag. Just because the fucker's got a library card doesn't make him Yoda.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I got one. When they're at the end, they're standing out in the desert. He looks at Somerset. He goes, "What do you got?" "Dead dog." And he goes, "I did do that."
I did do
I
that.
know.
That
That
is
Spacey
very
said that.
good.
I know that was bloody
That's
funny.
very good.
But there mightn't have been quotes, but there were bloody funny lines in the movie
Yeah,
too.
there was.
And I like when Brad Pitt was trying to plead his case to Morgan Freeman at the beginning. You've read my files. You've seen what I've done. Nope. Didn't give a shit.
But what about like probably the same reasons as me? You don't know me.
Yeah, I know.
You've just met me. Like
Yeah.
it's so good.
But I don't know if you noticed too. Remember when they were when they had the dinner, and then this isn't a quote, but it's just a funny little scene that Brad Pitt goes, "I'm going to go get another beer. You want one?" He said, "No, I'll have a wine." And if you look at Brad Pitt, he goes, fills up a schooner glass,
Yeah, of wine.
and hands him the wine. And it's only when the train goes past or the subway that Morgan Freeman
That's the magical
holds
vibrating house.
he holds the glass. And then you look at it, you see his face. He looks down and goes, "Holy shit, he's poured me a schooner of wine."
Yeah.
And his face actually at that stage is like, "What the hell's this guy poured me?" But he didn't notice. But you only see it. It's just a funny bloody scene.
Mate. They're acting their tits off in this movie.
Yep.
So good. I love You're No Messiah. You're a movie of the week.
Yeah.
You're a fucking t-shirt at best.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's good.
I mean that car scene.
Brad Pitt, I'm sorry, he is freaking good in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
He's really good.
I think watching it again when you know what you know about the ending, and then you just see he's teasing him. He goes, "You'll like this. You won't forget this." And you're just like, "Oh, it's so sinister." And he just is
Really calm.
really calm and just waiting.
And it's
No.
quite fitting the last line of the movie by Somerset. Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting for." I agree with the second part.
Yes.
Yeah. So, mate, it's another. This movie's on another level. It's so good. Well, I'm assuming you don't have any quotes, Dan.
Oh, no, you stole my one. I like the one about Yoda. That was good.
Yeah, the Yoda one's a good one. Well, it's time for the second most favourite part of Born to Watch. Film school for F-wits.
Yes,
Take it
thank
away,
you,
Dan.
Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, and hello, fellow F-wits. This week, in honour of David Fincher, I thought I'd take a look at my 5 favourite video directors who made the switch to filmmaking. So, obviously, video directing for bands means that we're going to come across quite a few titles of songs that we like. So, I think it's fair to say you're going to get a few more songs. But look, in no particular order, these are just 5 that sprung to mind. But the Frenchie, Michel Gondry, who came to prominence by starting out. He made a lot of videos for Bjork, where he made Human Behaviour and Army of Me and Hyper Ballad and some of her incredible tracks. And they were always amazing mini films in their right. But he went on to do a whole heap of stuff for the White Stripes and Beck and Daft Punk. And but one of the videos that really stood out for me was Everlong he did for the Foo Fighters, which started Foo Fighters' dalliance with doing some pretty funny and entertaining videos. He also has done stuff for Kanye West and Radiohead. So he definitely had a storied career as a music video producer. But then he went on to make a really incredible film, which I love, which I don't think will ever end up on this podcast, but we've talked about it previously, and that's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So featuring Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. Just a really, it's a lo-fi style movie, but just a really incredible setup, and just I think an amazing effort by Michel Gondry on a fairly low budget. So it's a really deeply sad take on a relationship movie, and worth a look. So yeah, number one, Michel Gondry.
Another movie he directed, Be Kind, Rewind, is actually really cool with Jack Black in it, where they have the video store and they demagnetize all the tapes. So they go and make.
Embarrassingly, I have not seen that. That's with.
Mate, it's actually really funny. So him and it's Mos Def as well, I think. Is in it.
Mos Def. Yeah,
and they go and they start remaking these movies on their own with, and they record it and they put the tapes into the cases and they rent them out and they become like massive. It's really good. It's cool. And that was right when we had the video shop. That was 2008, so we were like, that's video shop time. It was good. Very good movie, Be Kind, Rewind.
Number two, in no particular order, but Spike Jonze. We've talked a lot about him, mainly his acting career. He's popped up in a few of our movies that we reviewed lately as a really quirky and funny actor, but actually started off in the skate world as a videographer for a crew of skaters, including Jason Lee, the actor who was actually part of that crew. But he was actually very famously created the Fatboy Slim Praise You clip and actually starred in that as well as the head of the Bebop.
That is where they're dancing out the front of the theatre?
Yes. And that's him.
That is brilliant.
He's just
him.
That's him. That's him. He is just so entertaining and funny, and but also did some stuff for Bjork with It's Oh So Quiet, which is just another amazing flick. The Weezers, Buddy Holly, which you would have seen where they recreated
Happy Days.
The Happy Days set. Yeah, but my favourite.
What's with these homies dissing my girl? Great song.
Absolutely brilliant clip. And but my favourite was Beastie Boys' Sabotage, which he actually conceived and they shot really low budget style. But if you haven't seen that, just jump on YouTube right now.
They're like 1970s cops or something.
It is fucking incredible. So yeah, just absolutely brilliant. And just his ability. He went on to do stuff for Arcade Fire, also did Sound System. Like there's huge acts. And then his debut feature was actually being John Malkovich, which is really quirky and an interesting film. And he also went on to do adaptation, but he's probably best known for Her, which was the Joaquin Phoenix bit where he has a relationship with Scarlett Johansson computer, basically, and really entertaining. I believe won an Academy Award, and just a really clever cat, Spike Jonze, and worth getting down the rabbit hole on YouTube and looking at his videos because they're just brilliant. So number three, again, no particular order, but Jonathan Glazer. So he definitely was in the same sort of time as both Spike Jonze and Michel Gondry, but did stuff for Radiohead and Richard Ashcroft. He did his
from the
song
Verve.
for the Lovers, from the Verve, and but he made one that was back in my time in the ad world. He did a particular ad for Guinness, which is called Surfer, which you may have seen. It's in black and white. It's these horses that come down the face of a giant wave, and it's just fucking incredible. So a real, definitely again worth looking at if you've got some time on YouTube. But his feature film was actually Sexy Beast from the year 2000, which starred
of course.
Ben Kingsley and Ray Winstone. And what an incredible movie was that. But if you break that film down, it's kind of just a geezer heist movie, but it was really Glazer's style and eye, I guess, that elevates that. And there's some really unusual shots in it, and it elevates that whole film above what could have been a bit of a standard fare of EastEnders getting their crime on. But just a really incredible debut. So he's gone on to do some other stuff, but certainly Sexy Beast, I think, was very hard for him to jump over after doing that. But another one is probably not as well known, but is a more contemporary video maker by the name of Mark Webb, who did he's done videos for people as diverse as Yellow Card and Nelly and My Chemical Romance and Jimmy Eat World, Maroon 5, Puddle of Mud, a whole heap of bands that I guess are lumped in that 90s noughties sound. But his debut feature was 500 Days of Summer. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's got
Jason
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt
Gordon-Levitt.
and the
Oh.
it girl, Zoe Deschanel, who was in Almost Famous and was kind of the crazy dream girl from that time where blokes thought that they could pull her even though that she was a 15 out of 10 and just a bit quirky. But yeah, look, it's a really interesting movie, and the scene from the romance that those guys have and looking back on it and sort of cutting between different stages of the romance. But yeah, really interesting film, and I think worth a look too, fellow.
It's pretty amazing. It's a pretty
amazing.
it's amazing because it shows it in from two perspectives. So his perspective, where you think, oh, they're this madly in love relationship, and they're perfect, and then at the end of the movie, it actually shows what she sees, and it was like not really what it was.
No,
It
completely.
was really weird. It was really sort of interesting film.
Yeah, no, definitely
Yeah.
worth a look and show you're right, shown from that male perspective and just debunked, I guess, at the end when you see, I guess, what the more likelihood of what was actually going on from her perspective. The final one, though, obviously, doing the podcast about Seven is David Fincher, who himself started off as a in-demand video director, and we talked about Johnny Hates Jazz, Foreigner, Paula Abdul, but also Don Henley, The End of Innocence. He did Madonna stuff for her, Sting, even the Rolling Stones and George Michael's Freedom 90s. So he definitely
Freedom.
Yeah,
I won't let you down. Freedom.
I won't
Morgan,
give you up.
Freedom.
Has he gone back to do that? Like, is he going back to do some of that, or is he now?
Yeah, really good question,
Stick to
G
movies.
Masters. So his debut feature was Alien 3, and he had a really shit experience doing that. So
Yeah.
we talked about it earlier, but he basically inherited a script. The studio got involved, and it just wasn't the film he wanted to make. And he thought, this filmmaking's fucking shit. I'm going back to making videos. So that's what he did. And it wasn't until the Se7en script landed on his desk that he actually thought he would want to get back into filmmaking. So it was really Se7en that started his 2.0 version and career as a filmmaker. And because of the success of Se7en was why he was actually to revisit his film career and went on to do the amazing films that we've spoken about previously. But yeah, all because he was an in-demand and exceptional video director. So yeah, that's my top 5, people. So I think that that also kicks off into the Stan Bush Kick-Ass credit song, which I'm doing this week, if you want me just to roll straight through.
Oh, mate, right. Do you want me to announce it? Or
No,
just wanna
don't even
roll it?
bother. Don't even bother because
right.
it runs off the back of it. But with the Stan Bush Kick-Ass credit song, I'm obviously following Trent Reznor and his amazing work on this and follow up.
This sounds good.
Yeah. Well, no, it meant that I was completely overwhelmed by how good Trent Reznor actually is. And so I had to go a different way. But I got my motivation was basically thinking about how pissed off David Fincher would have been after making Alien 3 and thinking that his whole career was leading up to this moment where he got the helm of a big budget Hollywood production and then the fizzer that was that shitty movie and him thinking that he's never going to do it again. So I actually got into the head of David Fincher and the Stan Bush Kick-Ass credit song is called Fuck You, Jabu. I'm doing this one for myself. So here we go. Fuck you, Jabu. I'm doing this one for myself. You'll recognize the melody from pretty much all of my other songs, but here we go. Feature debut, Ripley's back in space. They threw me the keys and said cut sick on this place. But shit soon went south. It seems the script was a dog. I said, fuck it, I'm out. Suck on a bog. No more movies for me. It's the bands that I love. I'd rather die of colon cancer than do another movie to unlove. But then I read the Se7en script. They sent me the wrong one. The one with Gwyneth's head in a box. I said, that sounds like fun. I told those New Line fuckers, okay, I'm in, let's go. But the head stays in the fucking box. And get ready to hear, no! Fuck you, Jabu. I'm doing this one for myself. Fuck you, Jabu. Your notes can go to hell. Fuck you, Jabu. It's going to be grim and dark as fuck. Fuck you, Jabu. If you're looking for a yes man, then you're shit out of luck. Fuck you. Fuck you, Jabu.
There's some passion.
What's some passion in there?
Mate, I think there's a deep-seated nerve that's just been unleashed.
Yeah, how come the Pedro Serrano Jabu, what's it? I mean, is it?
I think it's fair to say it's the first Major League 7 mashup that's ever happened in the history of creativity. But yeah, I was able to channel David Fincher because as a creative myself, I can feel his frustration of when the suits and the man, they give it to you, they stick it to you, the man, and you just want to have the keys yourself and do it all yourself. So completely understand. Fuck you, Jabu. And obviously, when he was given the keys, he came up with the masterpiece that is Seven.
Oh, he sacrificed. Obviously, got the chicken, sacrificed it, and got the movie that he wanted.
Tenuous link between Serrano and David Fincher, but I didn't have a lot of time to prepare it this afternoon. When
I'll tell you what. After
was my song.
I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to after Colin. What were you thinking? And now, fuck you, Jabu. I'm looking forward to you doing a kick-ass credit song about the movie that we're doing. That I'm actually really looking forward to. But maybe the next time round, you've got two more in front, and then it'll be you again.
That is his style.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
We're all working on our styles here. I can't wait to hear Gow's newest rendition of "You Got a Mullet" for the next movie we do.
This will be a totally new tune. I've gone in a different direction.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the mullet's changed. Some different lengths.
I'm looking forward to hearing your "I Am the Walrus." You're going to go through your tweaked out phase.
I'll be up for next song, I'd say. So
your next song.
Just back to the
to get to that movie though.
Back to the song just quickly. Did you enjoy "Suck on a Bog"?
That's the highlight. The highlight.
Yeah, that was definitely my favourite lyric.
Yeah, definitely.
It was clever. It rhymed.
I need a filler. I need a filler.
I don't know how clever it was, Damo, but it definitely rhymed. So
it was. If you can get it to rhyme.
Okay, let's from another star turn. Let's move into star of the show, and let's find out who is our individual MVPs of Seven. We're going to start with our guest, Damo. Who's the star of the show, mate?
Morgan Freeman. Methodical, calm, curious, supremely intelligent, skeptical. I loved him.
Yeah. Daniel.
I was going to go Fincher, but I've changed and am going with the writer, Andrew Kevin Walker, because what a fucked up unit. And the fact that he was able to create this masterpiece to bring Fincher back into the batting cage and to bat 1,000 from then on in, I think is just a wonderful, wonderful effort.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I'm with Damo. I think Morgan Freeman in this. I just, that whole, I mean, you've got Mills being a live wire, and then him just always so calm and looking, the looks that he gives him, and just like you've got to be dispassionate. You got to,
It's the metronome, right?
Yeah, and then when he finally throws that, smashes that. But that whole thing that he's got that persona that goes through the whole movie. I think he does really well in this movie, so that's my vote.
I'm going with Fincher. I think the movie doesn't work without him at the helm. The restraint he has, it could have gone full slasher. It could have gone anywhere. It could have been Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Would have been shit,
and it would have been shit. But the restraint that he shows and what he built, that world that he built, can't be topped. So I'm going Fincher. 2 for Morgan, 1 for the psychopathic writer, and 1 for the psychopathic director.
Yep.
So fairly good split there. Look, it's obvious that I think the 4 of us love this movie. So when we move into the rank bank, it will be interesting to see where we rate this. This could rattle the pillars of Earth, and make some real changes in the standings in the ladder. So let's get there. The rank bank. Yeah, we're going to start with you, mate. What are you giving this? And I've got some options here. So listen to me. The choice is out of dildo knives, bowls of spaghetti, heads in a box, pounds of flesh, Cliff Notes, and Sins.
With the dildo knives, I prefer knife strap-on.
Knife strap-on?
It just sort of
knife strap-ons?
No, that one's too brutal.
What were the other? It's got to be head in a box.
Heads in a box.
Got to be head in a box.
So,
yeah.
Head in a box. Okay.
Head in a box. Okay, so
spaghetti cans was pretty good too.
Spaghetti was good.
Yeah. What are you giving out of 5 heads in a box for 7?
3.5 heads in a box for me.
Wow. 3.5 for the G.
I liked it. It's a good movie. I could always rewatch that. It's pretty heavy, but yeah, enjoyable.
Okay.
Haven't seen it for a long time, but certainly would watch it again. 3.5.
Okay, Daniel, from up there in the land, what are you giving 7?
It's fair to say that you're a fuckwit gal. That's a 4.5. movie any day of the week. 3.5, you're going to have to do a groveling apology next week like I did for
He's
First
Simon
Blood.
Cowell from American Idol.
Simon Cowell.
I think we'll pretend that there's only 3 on this pod and do the average based on 3 scores only.
Yeah.
It's 4.5 heads in a box every day. Whoever's picking the movies at the moment, I think it's probably me. They've been fucking outstanding, so keep it up, me.
But do you know what, Morgs? The last scene ruined it for me. Ruined it for me. That's why I got a low mark.
The monologue, the last third
just didn't live up, Morgs, this time when I watched it. So that's why I got a low mark.
We just need to
Damo.
edit all of Gow's bits out. It'll be a 42-minute pod.
Okay, Damo, how many heads in a box are you giving?
Mate, this is a masterpiece, 4.75.
Wow, okay.
Oh, well done, Damo. That's the highest score ever given on Born to Watch.
No. Why did you go on 5s?
I've gone 5. No. I pulled it back. 4.75 is what I gave Top Gun Maverick.
Yep.
Look, I love this movie. It's in my top 20 movies of all time. I watch it religiously. We didn't do over and unders, which we might do after the rank bank, but it's high for me, this movie. This is one of those you can just put on in the background. I'm giving this 4.5 in the heads in a box. And now we're going to go to my favorite part of the night. And if we bear with me for just a second, and then we'll bring it up on the screen so that Gow can tell us what we're doing. Okay. I'm crushing it today. It's all worked. And we go filter 1. All right, here we go. We're now moving over. Gow, tell us where.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Tell us where 7 stands in the rank bank and what the rating is.
All right. Well, 7 has come up with an average of 4.31 heads in a box. So that puts it right below First Blood in number 4 at 4.33 King Shit Cops and just above Die Hard at 4.25 Toasted Quarterbacks. I think that's a good effort. I think that's where it should sit.
You really bring that down, Gow.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you reckon Sloane's going to get onto Gow this week and do what he did to Morgs?
No.
For the emotional.
I don't think it's better than First Blood.
Well, let's just see what Sloane has to say, and I think and he'll contact you, Gow.
We'll see. It's going to be a 3. Look,
I think you're fucking tripping, Gow. This is a way better movie than First Blood. Tripping balls.
Yeah, it's
I actually love
definitely
First
better than
Blood,
The
though.
Guard.
Well,
The Guard.
You gave it 3. If you gave the Guard 3.5 as well, Gow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's actually a.
I think
That's Gow. Look, I'm looking at he's one of the lowest scorers quite often.
Gow's a hard scorer.
He is. He's he's got his scale. He's got his own scale.
I don't go too high, too low.
No, what's going to be interesting is when we do No Retreat, No Surrender, and we'll get to understand where 3.5 sits in the scale.
1.
It's a 5.
1.
3.5. Okay, so very good. It's in equal 4 spot. 7. Yeah, I don't mind that. 4.31. That's up there.
Yep.
As I said previously, let's do over and under. I'm going to set this. Movie's in 95, so it's it's the best part of 30 years old. I'm going to set the over and unders at 25. It's an interesting movie. Start with you, Damo, and I know already what your answer is going to be, but shoot.
I've watched this one shitloads.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it 6 times.
He wants the shitloads. He wants it shitloads.
That is a lot for
Yeah,
you.
I'd say
That's a lot.
That's 100 for you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. On the Born to Watch scale.
In
That's
Damo
it, so-
years.
Yeah.
Okay, Gow. What about you?
I'm not over 25. I'm definitely under, but I'd say 15 to 20.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Daniel?
I reckon I'm spot on 25.
Yeah. I am over 25. I'd say that I'd be between 30 and 40, I would think. Masterpiece. Just brilliant. And you do pick stuff up every time you watch it, which makes it easy to watch. It's definitely not a 3.5 movie, but we're moving on. Okay, so what are we watching? Gow, watching anything this week?
No, had
Been
nothing.
busy.
Been busy.
Been busy. That's okay. We'll let you off this time. What about you, Damo?
Because I've got access to Plex TV.
You do. I see you
I
using it
watched
too.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century,
Oh.
1974. But I tell you what, it's funny. There's so much more adult humor in it than I thought.
How good's
Double
Colonel
entendre.
Wilma Deering?
Oh, she's great. Yes.
What about Hawk?
Yeah, well, Hawk. This was the movie one, so there was Tiger Man.
Yes, of course.
But I didn't realize how much of a karate chop master he was. He karate chopped the shit out of everyone. Karate chop to the neck.
Yeah.
Karate chop to the back.
Hassan
Karate chop to the chest.
Yeah.
He just And that's probably why he got his gig in Sidekicks. He karate chopped the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't realise how much of a black belt he was. And it was the full hand, the chop. It was the full chop.
It was the Hassan chop.
Really shitty kick, but the chop was lethal.
Yeah, okay.
And he could pilot one of those
how good
spaceships.
How good are the ships?
Great.
I actually bought a model of the ship not long ago, about 6 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I might come over and play with it.
About a 10-incher.
Yeah, okay.
And a little mini one as well. Yeah. Got to love playing with that 10-incher. Now, Dan, what about you? You watching anything? Still Wrexham, I reckon?
Yeah, I finished off Wrexham, which was excellent. But watching this doco on Netflix about the earthquake in Nepal when all the climbers were up on Everest.
Oh, the Everest one?
Bucket. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Worth a look.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Look, I'm finishing off Wrexham. I've actually got one episode to watch, which I'll watch tonight after I get home as I pack for my trip to Bali tomorrow, which I'm excited about.
Bon voyage.
Bon voyage. Okay.
It's French.
All right. What's our next up and coming movie?
Well, it's a shame because we were going to go boys on tour and do a podcast in Indonesia, which is not going to happen. But I shall be back on the Monday night, so we're going to probably have to do something on the Tuesday night for the Wednesday release.
Well, we get Damo back again just to piss Sonny off.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Do you want to come back in?
I'm always up for it.
Okay. Well, we're going to do it. We'll have to do it on the 1st of November, which is a Tuesday.
I think I'm washing my hair that night.
Well, looks like you missed this.
Does the strawberry blonde come in a bottle, or is that natural?
It's natural strawberry blonde, Morgs. You should know this.
The curtains do match the pubes.
Well, we've just figured out that the G-Man is going to be missing for a podcast, which is a huge shame. The next one that we do. And
Mate, I'm going to be travelling.
Yeah.
I'll be over to the US to follow up Morgs' trip.
Oh, you're not going to follow in Morgs' footsteps, are you? You're an ambassador to Born to Watch.
I'm going to the Deep South. I'm going to the party town.
You're going to Vegas.
I'm going to Sin City.
Right. Trying to line up some deals with us over there in Vegas.
Yeah,
maybe some sponsorship deals.
That's right.
Yeah, that would be good.
Got deep undercover.
Yeah, deep undercover. Okay, we are going to do our first foreign film, but don't fret. It's an action blockbuster. The Raid, Indonesian thriller. It's amazing. It's essentially an arcade game as one cop works his way through a crack den to get to the boss at the top. It is great.
Any band chongs?
Well, Morgs has suggested it, so I'm sure there is. So as we like, Damo brings a different energy, doesn't he? Yeah.
I'm glad that we share a hobby, Damo.
Well, on that note, it's been another great pod. We thank you very much, Damo, for joining us at short notice.
Nah, good, mate. It's time to hit the showers.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
Damo's keen on the shower.
Big on the shower. I'm a bit worried. He's got his own soap today.
Yeah, towel too.
Amazing to have you back, mate. We missed you last week.
Thanks, boys. Great to be back.
We will
in
miss
the
you
studio
next week, and all the best for what's going on in the future for you. And Daniel, rest up, mate. I'll be thinking of you as you recover from your male leg syndrome.
Yes, not such good times on the land. Have fun in Bali, and see you, F-Wits. Speak to you soon.
Okay, it's bye for now.
See ya.
Peace out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Born to Watch. To join us on our journey into some of our favourite movies of all time, you can find us on all good podcast networks like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and share with your friends.